Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me? You know, lag in my timing.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm turning up volume to make sure we're secure here.
Elaine, can you hear me? See
I
me?
can hear you, but I can't see you. But I can hear you.
Okay.
But yeah.
Definitely a lag on my end. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
All right. All right. Camera. There.
You're,
Is that better?
let me see something. Hold on. I see somebody. I see your face. Yep, I see you.
Okay.
All right. We got Tyrone meet Dani. Dani meet Tyrone.
Hello, Tyrone.
Hello, Dani. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I cannot. Well, I can complain. I'm just not going to.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah. So this is our 24th episode of Renewed Talk. Welcome if anybody's already on. I don't think anybody's watching yet. I don't think. Oh, we have 3 viewers already. So we're actually going to begin the actual podcast and program in a few minutes. I just want to do one more thing and we'll get started. I usually try to go live on Instagram too. I be trying to do a lot with 2 hands.
Assistant or an intern?
You did say I need an intern.
Hello.
You did say that. Man of God, you said it. And you're right.
Credits, yeah.
And you're right. So I'm gonna work on that.
That's what you learned in 2018.
This is what I've learned in 2018. And I need to work on. I have to have a description. I have to come up with a job description and then let them know what the incentive is of working with Elaine Janell. Okay, I'm gonna back away now. But I have to come up with that first. So far we have a few people that's on. Just to let you know, welcome. Thank you for joining in. This one's gonna be like bam, bam, bam. I know it's gonna have that effect today. And I might get some people that are like, I can't get through. We always get that. And then I have to resend the link in the middle of the episode. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be what's different. Usually I do it before, but I wanted to do something fresh this time. So I had to let the people at the end know. If any of y'all are still hanging out at the end, I always close with a word of prayer, but usually I don't pray. My guest always prays. So I'm going to let people know along the way. They can pick who the prayer going to be today. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pick who the prayer going to be today. I'm gonna go live. If anybody's listening, watching out, I am going to go live on Instagram, but I'm going to wait a little bit. YouTube, we won't capture everything. We won't go with YouTube because YouTube has been consistent. It's been very consistent. So, welcome, Dani. Welcome, Tyrone, to Renewed Talk. Tell something about yourself. I'll start with ladies first. Anything you want to share about yourself, do share. Nothing wrong with it. And we'll go ahead with our questions.
Alrighty. My name is Danielle. Everybody calls me Dani. I've actually known Elaine since 2013. I think when I transferred, 2013, something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
I know. So I am aspiring to get my real estate license. I'm still kind of like working on that at the moment. That's been a long process, but we'll get into that later. Of course, that's what I've learned. And pretty much it. I mean, pretty simple to the point.
You froze at the very end. What you said is that's what you learned.
Yeah, like pretty simple to the point. That's pretty much it.
Gotcha. Tyrone, do share a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Ayers, and piggyback off what Dani said, the amount of time that I've known Elaine, Probably about 13 to 14 years.
Yeah, it has been that long.
It's, something about me. Very random person. I'll blurt out in a song, blurt out in a joke, blurt out at the most inappropriate times. I've learned that I need to control that to a degree. But my friends who know me know that that's the kind of person I am.
Mm-hmm.
That you should not call and put me on speakerphone because I'm liable to say it's about anything. But no, ultimately I love God. I am like yourself, Dani, actually pursuing real estate.
Okay.
Income. My nephew and I are going to LLC.
Mm-hmm.
I am a minister. I'm a member of the Baptist Church. I'm a member of the Life Church Ministry. Stylist, wardrobe stylist.
Okay.
Sing. I like songs. Creative at heart. We'll talk about. I'll give you a foreshadowing as to what we'll talk about. What I learned. I wish that I had pursued my purpose and not my plan.
Okay.
And my
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Before we get there, God, you're not gonna take me out that quick.
All right.
Not that quick. So Sarah's on the call. Hi, Sara.
Hi, Sara.
Hi. You guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Hear me okay?
I was actually gonna ask Tyrone, are you far from your computer?
Do I look far or sound far?
Yeah, I'm far sometimes. Sometimes the sound goes in and out. So I'm just trying to keep it consistent because I am audio recording as well. But it's nothing major. Like it's nothing that we can't work with. That's just beautiful. So I'm gonna let Tyrone, since you already have gone that route, I'm gonna let you well actually I want Sara to introduce herself since y'all the first three people, because it's 9 people tonight. Since y'all the first 3 people, I'll let Sara introduce herself. She was actually my one of my first guests on Renewed Talk.
Oh.
She was one of the first. So, I'm gonna let Sara introduce herself, share the information she wants to share, and then Tyrone, you can start with answering the question because you have already taken us there. Your purpose and not just your plan, and this is good. Okay, go ahead, Sara.
Okay. Well, some of you know me, but I'm Sara. Currently live in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, middle of nowhere. I am a junior stylist for Saks Fifth Avenue. What else? I'm a ginger. That's about it.
So Dani and Sara and I all worked at Banana Republic at one time. So that is the one thing we have in common. And what's funny is Tyrone used to be in retail as well. So, and way more, I'm not going to give you all of what he's done, way more than just being retail. This man was many people's stylist, entrepreneur stylist. That's what I'll say. All right, Tyrone, do share what you have learned.
We're not going to go down that road. We're just going to stay on where what the planning process was. But I want to start before I say what I've learned. I want to say, start by saying what's important in order for you to even begin to learn. I want to start by saying that you can only learn when you're willing to submit to the lesson that the teacher is presenting. And we have all been in a learning environment where there were several students who had access to the same information, but everyone did not pass the class, or some passed, but the amount of information ingested, comprehended, and applied varies from student to student. So,
Someone got
Hold
me.
on.
Sorry. Interruption by Charlie.
Please give it a full introduction to learning, and all I hear is this really weird sound. I'm gonna edit that part out.
You know.
the student must be humble. Huh?
You hear us, Tyrone?
No, now I can.
Okay, so a dog interrupted. And so I need you to pick us up from what you said when we're all in school, we all been in a learning environment. That part.
Gotcha. All right, so I said we've all been in a learning environment where there were several students who had access to the same information, but everyone did not pass the class, or some passed. Information ingested, comprehended, and applied varies from student to student. So the student must be humble enough to be teachable with a willingness to learn, and it takes humility to actually submit that process of learning. It's not enough to just hear or to perceive the lesson. You must apply that which you've submitted yourself to being taught. Sure. So once you do that, you'll reap the benefits of the freedom that comes with the truth of the knowledge. And I didn't mention before, and I should have, I'm saved, so I'm going to give some scriptural references through the things that I mentioned. So it says, James chapter 1, verse 22, but be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. So it's not just enough to...
Hold on one moment. Dani, can you hear him?
No, his computer froze.
Okay. Hold on.
All right, we're having some technical difficulties.
Do something. Can you hear me?
Your computer froze. I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh wow, sorry.
Not like anything, but I heard you read the scripture, and then I heard you pick up where it said it's good to not only be doers, and then you're about to give a scripture reference to it.
Right. So basically, James chapter 1, verse 22 talks about being like not just a hearer, but a doer of the word too. Right. So not enough to ingest the information, you have to actually apply that knowledge. So based off of all that, what I was saying is you have to, one, be in
That didn't work. Tyrone?
Poor Charlie.
Is that her dog? Charlie's your dog's name, Dani?
Yeah. That's her dog name.
And I saw you muted. I saw because it came up on our screens.
I did. I'm trying my best.
It froze up again. Yeah, you did tell me that your computer was giving you trouble.
Yeah, somebody just texted me, was like, your computer keeps freezing up.
Yeah. I'm
sorry. I was using my other computer, but for some reason it wasn't linking with that one. I'm trying to do this one, but I'll try to work through this, and if not, maybe we can come back to me or not. I'm not sure. But all that to say is that in order for you to learn something, you have to submit yourself to the process of wanting to actually learn.
Right.
So, and one of your questions was, all right, so one of the first lessons I learned is humility. Definitely get you a long way. Submission and obedience. So being humble enough to say that I need to learn something. Mm-hmm. And then being open to that which is being taught to you through life lessons. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to you, so forth and so on. Because I know there's been several times I myself and other people have mentioned that they feel like they're going through the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like sometimes it's because we don't pay attention to what is supposed to be, what we're supposed to learn from those lessons.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So we might learn something from it, but we haven't learned we haven't learned all of it. You know what I mean? So we find ourselves in the same situation over and over again because we have not, quote unquote, passed the test. When you pass the test in school, you don't have to go over that lesson again. You know what I mean? You don't have to go through that thing over and over again. Once you pass it, you move on, you're going through something else. So I've learned to be teachable. I've also learned, while it's great to live in, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I've learned that while it's great to live in your now and enjoy your now, it is really important to understand what God has said about you and your future. And to not,
I said, got you.
Yeah.
Prepare.
And knowing and accepting, yeah. And I feel like, and what I want to say about that is I feel like a lot of times we see what our parents are doing. We have an idea of what we want to do because we're good at something, then we want to hone in on that particular thing. Well, that might very well be what our purpose in life is. You know what I mean? We might be good at it. Just because you're good at it doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to do ultimately with your whole side. Sometimes we make our side hustle our main job. You know what I mean? And our main pursuit. And what I was saying earlier about pursuing my purpose and not my plan.
Yeah, you in this computer.
And it was getting all good. I'm listening like, okay.
And then
it pause like
technology can be shady at times. I mean, let's be honest. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what it is. So what I'm going to do, because I realize I have to keep the time moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so while we're sitting here, people are texting me. So while to keep the time moving, I'm going to let Sara and Dani go. And then if Tyrone is still here, I'll let him finish up. So Dani, you chimed in next, so you can go ahead and share what you've learned in 2018 or recent years and kind of how this helped you in the future.
So I basically learned to be patient with myself. And when I say that, like, I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring myself to be somewhere where I'm not supposed to be at that moment. So I kind of feel like where I am in that moment is where I'm supposed to be, and I have to accept that. And I think that it's taken me a long time because I feel like when you're a certain age, you feel like you're supposed to be doing certain things. So you kind of try to hold yourself accountable for that. Okay, by this time, you're supposed to have this. You're supposed to have that house by 30. You're supposed to have that by that time or that career. And sometimes it doesn't work out like that. So instead of getting upset and, kind of pressuring myself and beating myself up for it, I'm patient. And I had to learn that. It took a really long time for me to learn that it's okay to not be there right then and there and that you will eventually get there.
Yeah.
And I feel like going forward, that is going to help me because it's like it kind of puts me in a better place and it puts me in a better headspace, knowing that I'm not like pressuring myself to be somewhere where I'm eventually going to get to.
Right.
I kind of feel like that you have to, be grateful in that moment and be grateful for what you have right then and there. And that if you're not grateful, then of course you're not going to ever get what you want out of life at all. And it's always going to be negativity. It's not going to ever be anything positive. You're going to, like, Tyrone was saying, you're going to constantly be stuck in that same space because you're not learning,
right.
move forward. So, I mean, that's basically what I've learned. And of course, there's like other things, but we can keep going on into that. But that's going to be a long conversation. So, I kind of feel like, that's basically like the main thing I've learned in 2018. It's just be patient. You'll get there. It's okay.
That's good. That's something I'm learning as well. And it took a while.
Yeah.
Taking.
It takes a long time because it's like, I feel like social media makes it no better. Like you see your peers and people that you went to high school and middle school with doing all these fantastic things. And you're like, why am I still stuck here? Or why am I not moving forward? Or why am I not doing the same things that they're doing? But that's just what they're meant to be doing at that moment. It is what it is. You just have to accept that and just move on,
Yeah. Sara, do share.
Well, I'll apologize for the background noise. Hopefully he won't cry anymore and even, do this without him, But anyways, so I really liked the question that you asked us all because it really made me think about things. But I think especially this year, moving from New York back to PA, even though February will be like 2 years. I think one key thing that I've really learned and will probably always continue to work on and struggle with, but I think just being like comfortable in like who you are as a person, especially when you're constantly in different environments where people might not necessarily like think what you're gonna think or do the things that you do, and you know, just always like to have that respect and that level of respect to, you know, not judge what they're doing, but then not expecting that they're going to judge you for, you know, what you do. Because sometimes I feel like I'm not, how can I say it? I feel like I don't relate to a lot of people my age just because of, you know, the things I've been through and, you know, whatnot. Like I have a different mindset sometimes, but then again, it's like, I don't want to judge those people for doing things that I might not be doing just because, you know, we're all in different chapters of our life. And just to piggyback off of Danielle, wow, I haven't called you Danielle in like a really long time.
Nobody calls her
Danielle. Okay.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Like you can't, you know, compare, you know, like your chapter to someone else's. And you're right, like social media like does have a huge play in that because you're always looking, you know, to see like, oh, what's this person doing? Like, why am I'm not doing that? Or why haven't I got those opportunities? But like I said, it's just one of those things where I'm just constantly going to have to like, you know, learn and remind myself of, you know, I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I mean, that's kind of like a hard thing to swallow just because it's like, you know, if there is a situation where someone might like not like me, it's like, well, what can I do to like fix it or like for you to like me? But a really good friend of mine recently told me that you can't worry about the 10% that don't like you. You have to worry about the other 90% that, you know, love and care about you. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to really remember that, especially into the years to come, because you can't worry about those people because they'll just bring you down. And then you'll have a negative mindset, which, you know, is not good to have.
Right.
Understandable, and understood. I want Tyrone came back. Can you hear us, Tyrone? Tyrone?
I think you froze again.
Because he's just sitting there. I'm like, maybe not.
She said Tyrone. Like, hello.
Phone call. So, no, y'all both have shared things. I know he started off with humility and then he went on explaining. He laid a ground rule because I knew he was opening up. He was beginning the show. Right. He laid some foundation to being teachable. But when you said be patient with yourself, I was like, yes, Lord, help me to be that. And even with Sara just sharing that, you know, you won't be everybody's cup of tea, but being comfortable even more. I think, and it's funny, Sara, because I think even when we were all still at Banana Republic, I remember you then. Hey, Julian. Hey, Cody. With yourself, I was like, yes. I remember you talking. I hear echo though. I remember you talking. I remember you talking to Sara about being comfortable with people being comfortable with who you are. And I know that it's funny. I feel like the more that you grow in your career and the more that you grow in your relationship with people, it causes for you to just be like, this is who I am and you're going to get what you're going to get. It gives you nothing but you.
Right.
So I hear an echo. I'm not sure how to cut it.
I think that's somebody's TV or something.
Yeah, it sounds like television. Yeah.
Anybody have a TV?
A lot of feedback.
I think Tyrone maybe.
Right.
But he's like frozen.
I'm not sure how to cut it. So what I'm going to do is Tyrone's computer is giving him difficulties. I'm going to pause for a minute. Tyrone's computer is giving him difficulties, and I don't know how to cut this extra down because I don't know our recording. Okay, so it's something that
I think it was Julian
and Katie.
Yeah.
And we thought it was a TV, but then I kept hearing my voice come back.
Oh, okay.
And so this, I was like, well, maybe it's not the TV. Maybe it might be something in the connection.
Right.
So we're going to see what happens. They're going to tell them.
I think it was Julian.
Katie.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely an echo.
It's like a feedback. I don't know why it's doing that, Jill.
We're good now.
And so this, I was like, well, maybe it's not TV. Maybe it might be something in the connection.
Right.
So we're going to see what happens. They're going to tell them.
I think it was Julian. Katie. Yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely an echo.
It's like a feedback. I don't know why. It's not. Might be something in the connection. Right. So we're going to see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, it's theirs.
It's there, but I don't know what to do to. I don't know what to do to actually stop it. I don't know. And Google, YouTube, and Google Hangouts is supposed to literally, once you have a good signal of Wi-Fi, it's really supposed to be able to take about 10 plus people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it. There's no time on the show that I doubt it's going to be that many people. I doubt it's going to be that many. Everybody will be on at one time. But I think that something is causing it to give that feedback, and it seems like it's repeating. Yeah, okay, call me. He said he's gonna call me in a bit. It seems like it's repeating everything I'm saying over and over again. So when I said 1 minute, I was like, maybe it'll shut up and we can hear silence.
But it's like as soon as he went off, it stopped.
It stopped. Yeah. But Sarah, I'm glad you shared that with us, and I do. I want people. That's something people can learn from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Is being humble.
To like chime in at any time, or do we have to like just wait until everybody's like done talking?
You can chime in at any time. It's just based upon okay. So Julian's gonna restart his computer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let the person for person that's supposed to be for 8:20, I'm gonna let her go ahead and call.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go back to recording because I've been stopping it a lot. Yeah, I've been stopping a lot because I'm trying to make sure that everybody who's just live with us on YouTube, they just gotta kind of do.
Sorry.
Sorry. Makes for good entertainment.
It says we have 3 viewers. I'm sorry that that's happening. Hey, Ju.
Hey.
All right, we're back at it.
There we go.
Come on. We're back at it.
All right.
Hi, Julian. Long time no see.
Go ahead.
Who? Somebody just said hi.
I said hi. Long time no see.
Yeah, Dani. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see your face.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I know it's been a while since I've seen you for that, but congratulations.
That's okay. I appreciate it. The congratulations is much appreciated. Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
So, Katie, Julian, here, what have you learned?
You go first.
And Sarah's on the line as well. That's who you see.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
He's not liking our show tonight.
He wants her attention.
But share, you can, Julian and Katie, you can share a little bit about yourself and then share what you've learned. How has it helped you grow? Where is it taking you?
You want to share a little bit about yourself?
Oh, wow. Okay, so hey, everybody. Hey, world. This is Julian. This is Katie. This is my wife. My wife of now 2 years and how many months? 3 months. All right. We also new parents of 9 months. We just had our first child March 5th of this year. Layla, baby girl. Let's see, and we're, just happy about the year coming to a close. Also happy about the next year that's to come. So just happy and honored that Elaine thought much of us to ask us to be a part of this, effort. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So you go first.
So I will take the floor. So
something that I've learned in 2018, as Julian said, I became a new mother. But one important lesson that I learned is to always trust yourself. And the reason why I say that is because being a new parent, I think that we question ourselves, and, you know, obviously a lot of people try to tell us how to do things or how not to do things. So I have an example as to why I learned this. When Layla was about 2 months old, we decided to go out to dinner to this bar just for dinner, and I knew it was going to be noisy. Now, when Layla was young, she was very sensitive to noise. She didn't like noisy places, anything like that. So I was hesitant about going out to eat at this noisy restaurant, but my family encouraged me. They said, "Oh no, she'll be fine. She'll be fine." So instead of listening to myself or you know, what was going on, I decided to go. Well, we get there and Layla starts screaming and she's not happy. And, you know, I get very upset. So I take her out and I told her and I told myself that, you know, if there was ever a situation where I thought that she would be uncomfortable with or I would be uncomfortable with, that I would never put her in that situation again. So I think moving forward, you know, just not as a parent, but in life, to always just go with your gut instinct. If there's something that doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. So I think that can go in all aspects of life, not just parenting, but other things as well.
That's good. Thanks for sharing to us non-parents yet.
Right.
Yeah, come on, yet. I love it. Good stuff.
Yeah. So, you can share, Julian. I know somebody's gonna be calling in soon.
Okay, cool. So look, I just made a quick note, right?
You and Tyrone. Tyrone had no.
Look, I wanted to make sure I stayed on track with what I was saying. All right, so I'm going to just get into it. So what have I learned? The first question. If I had to put it in a way, it would be going within so you don't go without. And like a subpart to that is that God truly has provided us with everything that we need. And if we would just learn to tap into that, we would find peace that, you know, we cannot describe. So what brought me to this point is dealing with difficult situations in life generally. But if I had to specify, it would be career, work. At my job, you know, it has been crazy dealing with certain people, certain personalities, some disorganization here, some lack of structure there. And so, I mean, mean-spirited people. I've dealt with people who it just seems like they get up in the morning and their objective is to make your day bad. They want to just see what they can do, what they can conjure up. Dani, I think I know what I think you witnessed it, right? They just want to see you fail. They want to do something to see you down, right? And so it got me to a point, honestly, that I sought out therapy. Now, I had never thought about therapy before. And I said, no, I was raised in church and, you know, I pray about it and that's that. But I said, wait a minute, hold up, wait, pause. Something
goes to therapy. We talk to people.
Something is wrong. And it's like when a car is driving and you hear that tick, tick, tick. And after a while, that tick turns into something worse. And so you have to be careful. So when you deal with it early on, you have more of a likelihood for there to be success and you don't lose it all. So I went to seek out therapy and I was so glad that I did that because it was in therapy that I was able to open the door to understand and appreciate the purpose of processing when we deal with difficult situations in life. It was in therapy that I learned that there is more nerves surrounding the heart and the gut than there is surrounding the mind. Okay, so sometimes we think we can think through life and okay, this makes sense and this doesn't make sense, but it's a little deeper than that sometimes. When you have that feeling inside of you internally, like Katie was saying, that feeling like this isn't right, but we still go against that. It's almost like we disregard who we are because that's what we bring to the table. So anyway, it was through that I understood how to ask the hard questions. Some of those questions being, why do I feel the way that I feel, even with the job? Why do I feel the way that I feel about the everyday situation? Why do I feel the way that I feel, the frustration, even as being a new father? those feelings of being just a husband of 2 years? Where is this coming from? And then the other question being, you know, what do I need from me to feel better? So one of the things my therapist said is that, you know, we are all direct manifestations of God in the earth. And essentially, God, being the greater one, he dwells in each and every one of us. And so if we take the time to stop and, you know, assess where we are and ask ourselves truly, what is it that we need of ourselves when we're in those difficult situations? Essentially, what we're doing is we're tapping in to the divine that's in us. You're talking directly to him. I mean, you know, that's as simple as it is. It's not something where we have to go out and seek it, though there are resources, but it's not a thing where anybody else can do it for you. You have to go in and see for yourself. So the next part is, okay, how does this, because I'm trying to make time in my time. It's 8:40. Now, technically, because you were late. I mean, you know.
His face though when he turned that face.
I was so quick because I knew his was going to be so
no,
long.
because I just want to make sure I'm in target. Okay, so simply put, see, Elaine, though. Simply put, she laughing too hard, ain't she? Ain't she, Dani? Laughing too hard.
I know my friends.
Yes, true.
Tyrone came. I said, these men are prepared. Y'all not playing with us tonight. Go ahead.
And so the third question is, how does this lesson or conclusion affect my next move or my goal? And it's three simple things. With all of that, it's number one, I will move forward more conscious and aware. Number two, my moves will be more intentional. Okay, because I'm no longer disregarding what I feel. I'm no longer disregarding those emotions that I want to push to the side to say, oh, Jesus will fix it. Oh, you know, I'm angry. I'm depressed. Let's call it what it is, people. I'm feeling a certain type of way. It's because it's something that you need to deal with and process through. And it doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't make you any less of a believer. It doesn't make you any less of anything for you to admit and own that, because it's at that point you're able to move forward and you can be greater than you were before. And the last thing, regardless of where I am and the environments, including the people, the places, and or things, they have zero permission to dictate to who I am.
That's
okay?
So,
I agree.
I like that. And
that's all I got.
Go ahead. I know, I'm old church.
And I'm happy for therapy. I put a plug in for therapy again. Mental health is so important, especially for minorities, especially, and I mean women. I'm talking about Black and brown. I'm talking about ethnicities, all races, all creeds, all genders. It is important, therapy. And if you can't, you know what I'm saying, get to a therapist, you know, why don't you seek out some free resources? You might not have the money, understood. Seek out some resources that are free. You can Google it. It's interesting how we can Google other things when we need it. But when it comes to the things we really, really, really should have, right, Dani? Right, Dani? All of a sudden, people don't understand. It's important to do that. So I highly recommend therapy. I highly recommend you take the time to get to know you. And in 2019, you never put yourself on the back burner. You might have done it in 2018 or the years prior. But this coming year, it is essential that you put yourself first. Because they stay on the airplane. Before you can give the oxygen to the person next to you, you must first put the mask over your own face.
That's so true.
So true.
And so that's all I have.
And it's like, speaking of therapy, I'm actually going to start doing that. Like, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, you know what? There's really nothing to think about. Yeah. Like, if it's going to like help me out or better me in some kind of way, why not just do it?
Yes.
I'm not going to, you know, go by that saying that Black people don't do therapy and we pray. And it's like, no, like sometimes you need more than that. Not saying that prayer is not enough, but sometimes you do actually need more than that.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely. People think, oh, I'm crazy.
Right.
Well, I don't believe enough because the devil is getting riding and I need more Jesus and I need to get saved again. And it's all these mind warps and we're just lost.
Right.
So I just feel good about that. I'm happy to hear that you're taking that step in your journey.
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I believe in talking, clearly. Renew talk.
Right. Right.
It's in the concept. Talking helps. So, Oh, but the reason why I clapped, I gotta go back because I'm waiting for Ashley to call in, and then Walter will be calling in soon. I was clapping because when you said giving people permission, and it made me think of what Sara was talking about when like you just have to be yourself and people have to accept for who you are. And I think growth is necessary for every human being. Anything that breathes air needs growth. Like that's the concept.
Good.
I'm breathing air, I should be growing. So that's why we got bugs that don't stay the same size, and that's why we got plants that don't stay the same size.
Right.
And they grow. So I feel like it's the same thing for me. And when Sara was talking about just accepting who we are, it's like, yeah, I am going to change. I'm going to metamorph more and more. I'm concerned if I don't change. That concerns me. If I literally never, change my mind or grow in my thinking or expand my mind, that concerns me if I do that. So I love when you said that, not giving people the permission, because people will try to dominate who you are. And no, thank you.
They'll try you.
Oh yeah.
They'll try it. You just gotta look at them and laugh like,
right.
No.
You know what's crazy? Like I've also learned that too. You know how when somebody ticks you off to the point where you literally feel that word vomit coming up, and that bad boy is stuck in your throat, and you be ready to just launch out. Well, since I've been in therapy and processing through some things, I've realized I absolutely do not owe them a response.
Yeah.
The power is relinquished the moment I start to entertain their foolishness. I give up my power. I'm like, here you go, take my power, take it. I don't have to do any of that.
Right.
I don't. Yep.
Ooh.
I agree. And going with your gut feeling, thank you also for sharing that as well, Katie. I'm not a parent, and it actually bothers me when everybody tells you how to raise your child. That bothers me a lot.
Yeah, it's like, excuse you, no. No, thank you. I think we got it, but if we need the help, we'll ask.
Right.
Though,
Right.
Yeah, I don't. That bothers me a lot. And I get it. I get just you trying to help, but because I've seen it with other people. So I don't like, other people, and they get frustrated because it's like I go home with this child, and when you're going wherever you're going, I'm at home with this child, so I'm raising my child. So I'm trying to sing a side.
Katie gotta go because the baby's up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Katie. I am trying to get the link to go through to Ashley Williams. And so I'm going to let Walter come on and chime in. Ashley just told me she's not letting her on. And my friend Andre just said that he couldn't get on either. So how about we do this? I don't want to end this. I have 3 viewers who are watching, and I want to tell everybody who's watching thus far that I'm going to tell you thank you. What I'm going to do is see if I can log off and log back on and see if they can get on with that. And I'm gonna welcome you all back on as well. Is that something we can do?
Cool.
Fine, that's cool.
All right. So, because I don't want to feel like it's ending because the show isn't ending, but I have to find a way for these people to be able to get on.
Okay.
All right. Give me a minute.
All right.